G'day Trendsetter, Stuart here again, working in the veggie garden today, and thanks for dropping by. I've got, it's a beautiful winter's day here, blue skies, which is probably too blue because we really need rain. It's that dry here, it's just ridiculous. I heard on the radio the other day they were talking about the drought, which is most of New South Wales and Queensland. And a couple of people have referred to it as the worst drought in history. So I guess if they're starting to talk that way, things are getting pretty bad. What can we do? Just cross our fingers and wait for the rain. But today, a few jobs. It's so even though it's the beginning of August here, you may as well call it the beginning of spring. So I've got a couple of citrus trees. I've got a little lime and a lemon. I've got a mandarin up the back. They all need to be fertilised and watered well because it's so dry, and then given a good mulch. And asparagus, which is all the dead fronds from last summer's growth. They need to be cut away, cleared up, fertilised. I haven't got any aged cow manure, but I'll have to go and get some. I'll spread that over the top, and then give them a good water as well. That's probably it for now, so better get started. Let's get cracking. Okay, this is my asparagus. You can call these old stems, fronds, whatever you like, but anyhow, it's leftover growth from last year. I just need to cut it away. I'll bung it on the compost bins just out of sight there for you. So nothing to it, just got to cut them back, get them out of the way. What else can I tell you about asparagus? I probably only pick them for the first couple of months. I always leave this much growth on through the summer, so as it dies down it can go back into the roots and hold the roots healthy over winter, so as you can get this growth coming away in spring, which is what you eat. I guess they're putting out so much growth. I like to also fertilise going into winter, because then that'll allow the roots to store energy for when spring does get here. But I also fertilise again at this time of year to help encourage new spring growth. Right. I've got a bit of weeding to do here, as you can see. I haven't been up this part of the garden for a little while. Alright, when I get my aged manure, I'll just spread that over the top, probably about 20-30 millimetres deep. I've got some bags of sugarcane mulch there. I'll spread them over the top all. I'll fertilise in between that with the Searles 5-in-1, pelletised 5-in-1, and the mulch, and then I'll probably set a sprinkler on this for about an hour just to really get the water in and soak the ground, and I get the idea that it's time to go. I just got to chop this up and put it in the compost bin. I think I told you that, but anyhow, I'll do that in between. So next, it's off to the citrus after I finish this bit of tidying up. Okay, just being a bit silly here, but this is the Searles 5-in-1 that I keep on banging on about. As you can see, hopefully, there, it's just a pelletised version of what they usually sell in their bags. Now, for the asparagus. Like I said, I don't know what I've done with my glasses. I'm going to have to read this without it. Just follow the instructions. So it's got garden beds, shrubs and trees, lawns, pots, pot plants. I'm just going to go with garden beds, and it says sprinkle 150 grams or a cup. It's about 2 handfuls for me per square metre, so I'll put 3, maybe 4 handfuls around up there. So let's do that. It's just simple matter, just broadcasting. That's roughly a metre, and that's roughly another metre. Another job done. For what it's worth, Searles don't give me any money for this, but if they're watching, I'll take it. Thanks. Alright, I couldn't help myself. I just had to go and get some cow manure. So I've just spread the cow manure over where the asparagus are. That's I use the whole bag. There's 20 litres in the bag. And just something I wanted to say about cow manure. I generally don't use it for or as a fertiliser or for its nutrient value. That's what I use the Searles 5-in-1, the fertiliser, for. The main reasons I have for using cow manure is kind of twofold. So I use it to improve the water holding capacity of the soil, because that's something cow manure is really good for. If you can get a hold of some cow manure and work that into your soil or spread it on top, it really does hold the moisture in your soil. And secondly is just the organic component. So it's to aid microbial life, worms and all your microbes, whatever else is going on, the fungi, wherever you come from. So that's just a couple of reasons why I'm always adding cow manure. The third reason, if you like, is this red soil I've got is just, it's very porous, and it will eat organic matter like there's no tomorrow. I mean, been here for 20 years on this plot, and you can just add and add and add. You add compost, you add cow manure, horse manure, whatever you can find. You just chews it up. It's incredible. But anyhow, that's just a little bit about cow manure. So I've done that. I'll water that in. I'll set a sprinkler up on here and let it go. But I've got to get onto this citrus, so here goes. All right, this is my mandarin tree. I'm back with my 5-in-1 again. Just a little note, I've got this comfrey planted around the base of the citrus. Now, I don't know if it works or not, but I've planted it there because the theory is that comfrey has a deep root system and it mines minerals from down below and obviously brings them up into the leaves die and sit on top. So hopefully it's a recycling thing. But the other reason why I do it with citrus is that they are supposed to have a shallow root system. So the theory is that the comfrey goes in below and brings up the nutrients, puts them back on the top of the soil, and then as they pass back through the soil profile, the citrus picks them up. But at the same time, it doesn't stop me from adding fertiliser. So I'm going to work this as about roughly 5, maybe 6 square metres of root zone for the mandarin. So that's about 2 hands, so it's about 12 handfuls of 5-in-1. Another thing about citrus, this one isn't flowering. They should start flowering shortly, but the condition you start your tree in with at flowering time is a condition that will carry right through to fruit set and the fruit itself. So the better you can start your citrus tree off at this time of year, the better you'll get, better crop you'll get, but the better it'll be right through the whole growing season for the citrus. Pretty hard to over fertilise citrus. They are a very hungry tree. When you consider how much fruit they produce, they've got a lot of work to do and they need a lot of food. Now, mulch. Just something I noticed while I was mulching the citrus is this is a little bok choy I planted a couple of weeks ago, and you can see it's gone to flower. This is a problem with planting punnet grown bok choy. Also a few other plants, is radish and what's the other one, rocket. I know, things like that, they can just bolt straight to flower. This is what we call bolting to seed, so they'll form seed obviously. About the only way around this is to direct sow the seeds into the ground, which I've done in just another part of the garden, veggie garden here. So if you see that happening, I'm going to pinch it out. I don't think it'll do much, but it might go from there. There's another one up here on the left a little bit of me here that's gone to setting a flower as well. Just something to watch out for. That's about it for today, trendsetters. Thanks for coming by. If you like what I've been doing, share me around. Subscribe if you will. And cheers for watching.